We are joined now by the most valuable player of Super Bowl 60. It's Kenneth Walker. I talked to your head coach, and I asked him if he could have ever imagined when he was a GA at Georgia in 2010 that he'd be a Super Bowl winning coach at 38. I'm asking you, if when you woke up this morning, you dreamed the dream that you'd be the most valuable player in this game, Kenneth, is it real?
It's still a surreal moment right now, man. It hasn't really hit me. I spent time with my family after the game and, my teammates. So it still means a lot to me, and we're going to celebrate later on.
There was a cool moment on the broadcast where they showed your family going crazy watching you. Just when you got with them after it happened, what are those moments like? The folks that have been with you since you're a little guy playing Pee-wee football, and now here you are on the biggest stage contributing like this.
It means a lot. It's a journey. It's been a journey in life, and it's cool to see my parents and my dad to come out here. This is my dad's first game actually to ever be in an NFL game, and it was the Super Bowl. So it means a lot to me, and I know he's proud.
And, oh, man, there's nothing better than making your folks proud. And from the jump, it was clear that you were going to have a big night. You had some significant chunk runs. When you start getting going like that and you get momentum like that, how does the sense feel that maybe you're running downhill all night? Is that a feeling that you have?
Yeah, definitely. As a running back, I feel like you got to have that rhythm, and I feel like I got in that rhythm a little later in the first and early in the second quarter. And, my O-line, I got to give credit to my O-line, wide receivers, and tight ends for making my job a lot easier.
What would you say about your defense and the role they played in this amazing season now as Super Bowl champions? As you watch them do their job, what most impressed you?
The brotherhood that they got over there. I know the whole team is a brotherhood, but, the way those guys play together and the way they're able to shut teams out, that's a lot of great offenses around the league, and they were able to, play the way they play. It means a lot for the offense and, everybody in this organization.
I talked to DeMarcus Lawrence. I talked to your head coach, and now talking to you. I'm just struck by, and I don't expect you all to be jumping around acting crazy, but I'm just struck by how calm you are at the moment. When do you think it hits you and it dawns on you that what happened today happened and that you were a huge part of why Seattle will be throwing a parade?
I think pretty much later on tonight when I'm chilling in my room with my family, just spending time with them, I think that's when it's really going to hit, because throughout the season, you got the same mentality that we had as 1-0, 1-0. So it was just another game for us, and I think that's when it'll hit later on tonight.
Well, I'm going to let you get to that. I don't ever count on other man's money, but this is a nice way to end the season. I know free agency is around the corner. Whatever happens next, this moment will belong to you forever. Super Bowl 60, you're the most valuable player. Congratulations on a great night and the title champion that you'll wear forever as well. Thanks for taking a minute with me.
I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having me.
Kenneth Walker, the third. He dominates the postseason for Seattle. 100 or more scrimmage yards in all three postseason games, accounting for nearly half of their yards at Super Bowl 60, becoming the 8th running back in NFL history to win the MVP in the Super Bowl. Tim Hasselbeck is with me. Cool setup here, isn't it?
Very cool setup.
And we'll obviously be here next year for the Super Bowl. And I'm going to get your touch screen and some specifics in a minute, but just first the overarching thought of this night. I mean, frankly, the game's pretty boring for most of it because of what Seattle was able to do to the Patriots.
You said it earlier in the night, and then that graphic, I think, hammers it home. Think about the postseason for them. Yeah. Kenneth Walker, over 100 yards, rushing in their postseason games, and then the defense. You run the football, and you play good defense, and then your quarterback doesn't mess it up. Like, it may not sound like a real exciting formula to win a Super Bowl, but it works. It's a winning formula because it really was, that was the story of tonight.
The other part of the winning formula is double moves, but we'll talk about that in the offseason as you prepare for next fall. That's another topic for another day. All right, you're so good at showing us ways that the things happen that are impactful. In terms of what Mike Macdonald and this defense did, what did they do tonight?
You when you were interviewing Macdonald, said, there was a plan, right? And then execution of the plan is kind of what he followed up with. And so I thought what they did an excellent job of is they continue to play the hits. You look at it pre-snap, you get two high safeties, and they're not creeping down. That's not telling you blitz look on 3rd and long. But here comes Witherspoon. That's right before the snap. And so as we play this forward, here comes that slot pressure. And why that matters is Campbell's there on the defensive end, and so you've got a free runner. And so Drake May, as we play it forward, is just going to end up escaping outside the pocket, throwing the football away. That's the first third down of the game. Well, again, play the hits. Safeties look high. It's not a pressure look. I understand it's a long down and distance, but here comes the slot pressure once again. Now it's Moses, the right tackle. You would think that he's fanning out to Lawrence, but as we play this forward, he gets confused. And so now you've got a free runner in Witherspoon into Drake May's lap, and he goes down for the sack. I think it's just a great example of having a game plan, putting it together, and then understanding that, wait, they don't have an answer for it. We're going to come back to it. And that doesn't typically happen in the NFL. Sometimes you think, oh, okay, they're going to be ready for it the next time. We're going to move to something else. Seattle didn't do that. Credit to Mike McDonald for saying, look, you're going to have to prove to us that you have an answer for it.
They did.
Otherwise, you're going to get it all night long, which is what they did.
I was scribbling down some notes about quarterbacks because this game so often is a night. Steve Young goes wild, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Joe Montana had 5, and I look at the quarterbacks who had 4. Brady, Aikman, Doug Williams, Terry Bradshaw. Often it's quarterbacks going crazy. Sam Darnold did not do that tonight because he didn't have to. But he still does, I think, the hardest thing to do for a quarterback in this league, which is change the way he's seen. What did he show you that is different about who he has become as a quarterback?
I think you have to understand this. A highly recruited kid coming out of high school,
No
goes
doubt.
to SC. Every quarterback is coming out of SC in that era. First-round draft pick, and then he absolutely fails. And everybody said he failed.
Yeah.
And to deal with that, to be able to fight back from that, I heard him talk about how really his parents continued to believe in him, which allowed him to believe in himself, to keep chasing it. That's the only, I don't know how else you can kind of fight through that when everyone is telling you, hey, you're not good enough to be a starter. His 5th team, because it didn't go from, Jets to Quick Stop in Minnesota to here. That's not what happened. The journey to this was quite frankly a brutal journey where he was fighting for his career to prove that he even belonged in the National Football League. That takes an incredible amount of belief in yourself, and then also just mental toughness.
The other side of the ledger here is Drake May, who's had a different path, also taken 3rd, but has immediately gotten to this stage in his 2nd season. And we shared the emotion that I think struck the guys as being the kind of stuff that's a leader of men and impressive stuff. This was not his night. His shoulder was banged up. Just how much, we don't know. Moving forward from this and who he will be in the league, future looks pretty bright. What do you say about him?
Yeah, I think the future is incredibly bright. I think the thing, and the guys made the point on the set, you guys talking about it, it's a tough road in the AFC. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the AFC.
Yeah, man.
And so you think about, we're talking about him being the 2nd youngest quarterback after Marino to get there. Well, Marino had a long career, didn't get to experience that again. And so, you just don't know. Some good fortune has to come your way with your team to get yourself to that point. I think what will be hard for Drake is that this was not his best night. The first half, I don't think he was getting a whole lot of help from his teammates. They did a bad job of protecting him in the first half. I think what happened in the first half affected how he played in the second half. And I don't think he's going to like what he sees when he watches how he played in the second half. He's going to have to get over that. He's going to have the resolve, the grit, the resilience to put that behind him because he can be a remarkable player.
I just want to say to you, for all of them to hear, how much I appreciate you, man. You really make the effort to come to D.C. You're coaching ball. You got a family. I really, really, really appreciate your friendship, your time, and what you bring to the table because you're awesome at this, man, so thank you.
I do as well. This is a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun to get through this with you every Sunday night, for sure.
2 words, or is it 1 move? Double moves. Just keep
we need more of those.
Just keep it in mind. They work a lot. They work a lot. Tim Hasselbeck, ladies and gentlemen. All right, what are we doing next? We got more interviews? No, I think we've pretty much brought you those. We'll continue to revisit the journey to the Super Bowl, the 12s.